there, my name is Caffrey. I'm a composer from Belfast, and I've been asked to say a few words about my piece, The Slain Birds, which will be premiering in Hard Rain's concert this Friday night, the 30th of May, and that's happening in the Hardy Room in Queen's University, Belfast, so I hope you might make it along to that. The title of the piece, The Slain Birds, is taken from an edition of poetry by the Belfast poet Michael Longley, who very sadly passed away in January of this year. And I had asked Michael back in 2023, I believe it was, if he would be happy for me to set some of his poetry, and I was delighted when he agreed to that. And this is the third song cycle I've written using poetry by several iconic poets from this part of Ireland. The other two cycles were my Kieran Carson cycle entitled Belfast Confetti, which was premiered in 2018, and my cycle of poems by Seamus Heaney, Death of a Naturalist, which premiered in 2021. So in a discussion with Michael, he felt that I should set some short poems of his from The Slain Birds, which was his new book at that time, and that's exactly what I've done here. The cycle includes a poem, Skylarks, which he described as one of his best poems from that edition. He went as far as to describe how he heard brief, ecstatic cascades of notes in relation to this poem, and so I hope this is one of the things I've managed to capture. Otherwise, the poems have a very strong sense of place, nothing to do with Belfast, but rather his home in Carrick-Skewan in County Mayo, where much of his poetry was inspired. And in fact, the curious place names of this part of the world feature throughout the poetry, and therefore in my settings as well. They give rise to useful rhythmic and harmonic ideas, and you can listen out for that. At least one place name is used in the setting as a sort of leitmotif. Overall, there's a sense of sadness in this poetry, which I've also tried to emphasise in the settings. I think it's probably the contrast of Michael Longley's depiction of the beauty of the natural world alongside human frailty and a sense of mortality. So I hope you get the opportunity to come along and hear these settings, and a big thank you to my friends and colleagues in Hard Rain SoloistEnsemble for programming this piece of music. So thank you very much for that.